All right, I'm back out here at this fence. If you watch my channel, you know I have issues with the wind. The west here and just hitting this fence super hard. Here's a video of it getting blown open. This was actually hooked up when it got blown open. It broke one pipe clamp and blew the door open. So I put two here that night in the middle of the night. This hole was a little bit bigger than this rod, and now you see how the hole is wallowed out. When I had them build the gate, I told them to give me a 1 7/8 pole to slide in here, and they just forgot. I don't open this gate hardly ever, but maybe a couple times a year. So I've been looking for a solution for a long time, and I think I figured it out. This is a corral clamp that you clamp horse corrals to. We used to have horses, and I kept the clamps. And I just needed a 1 7/8 inch pole, and if you live in the desert, you can just find anything by driving around. So I found this pole on my way to work in the middle of the desert out there. Okay, so you have to put these clamps where there's no metal. See, I'm on the metal here, so let's move that over. I'm gonna do 4 total. Might as well, right? You still don't like that pump noise, do you, buddy? You were hiding way down there when this thing was lifting up. Okay, so many of you know part of my job is I dispose of scrap tires. I used to do it for other stores, but then the recycling plant said, look man, you can only go once a week here, because I was going like 8 times a month, and it was great money. I was getting like $500 a load, and I was doing it like 8 times a month on my time off and on Saturdays. When we first started, we were just stacking them on this flatbed trailer and kind of pyramiding them up and putting a net on top. Then when I bought this shop back up here, we started to produce a lot more. It's just a higher volume store, so I built this trailer. Within a few months they said, hey, you need a dump trailer now. But anyway, I looked at trailers, and just a 14-footer was thousands of dollars. And I had my welder buddy, as you guys know, build me this one, a 16-footer. I am so happy with how he built this, except for one thing, and it's my fault. It did not need to be as heavy as it is. I didn't communicate to the builder that I wanted it to be as light as possible. Look at the bottom, just completely gusseted all through. You could literally put 2-ton boulders in this thing, and then the framing all the way around the sides. Super, super beefy. So where does that leave me? Here's where it leaves me. Here's the tongue weight, here's the rear axle weight, and the total is 51 something. Here it is. Put it up on the screen. And that's fine. This truck tows 5,000 pounds. But here's the thing. I got to go up this hill that has 16% grades. And I'm going uphill in second gear. And I'm not giving it a lot of gas. Since I had the transmission fixed, it doesn't take hardly any pedal to get this thing up the hill. And coming down, it's very, very heavy. I've got the exhaust brake on. I'm in first gear. But if I can save a couple thousand pounds, which I'm guessing just the sides and the back doors weigh a couple thousand pounds, I have to do this. I've been struggling with this for a year. I actually bought a plasma cutter last year, intending on doing it over the holidays, and I didn't. I wussed out because I'm intimidated. Do I know how to kind of weld and fabricate and measure and make sure things are straight and level? Of course. But I'm at a point now where I'm thinking, if I could save 2,000 pounds, you know, I'm guessing just these doors back here are probably 500 pounds. The sides are at least 500 pounds each. So here's what I plan to do. Cut off as much of the metal on top. I don't want to mess with the frame underneath. That's got to be beefy for the ram and all the stress that's created when the ram pushes. But here's where I'm going to start. I'm going to cut everything off, and I'm going to figure out a way to create 5 foot or 6 foot. They're 5 foot now, 6 foot tall sides, and I don't know what I'm doing. I have a grinder, I have a plasma cutter. I'm going to do it piece by piece, and then I'm going to take all this metal that I cut off and I'm going to weigh it, and I'll let you guys know what that runs. This is day number 1. I'm thinking this is going to take me 2, 3, 4 days off and on of work over a weekend. So let's see how this works out. The first step in tearing this trailer apart is a new compressor. I've had this compressor since 2006. I bought it at my favorite Lucerne Valley Market store, and it's been flawless ever since, but we're gonna go get a bigger one. Let's go. You bring it out, will you? I went ahead and picked up this bad boy right here. You know, I've done a lot of work off that little compressor that was right here. You've seen me do all kinds of work to the trailer, dirt bikes, cars, things, but it was always fighting for air all the time. And a lot of people said just get the Home Depot 20-gallon quiet one, but Lowe's had the 26-gallon quiet one as well. So let's unbox the sucker. I'm excited. All right, huh? That went pretty easy unboxing it. The older I get, the less I like unboxing and unwrapping things. Just everything seems to fight you, or maybe it's my whole body. Pretty stoked on this thing, so let's plug it in. That just fits right in this spot right here. So anytime I move into a house or rent a house, I put in a 30 amp service. In my last house I had a 40 amp service. To run my 110 welder, it just loves that kind of juice. Of course, in the near future I'll be doing a lot more welding, so I'm gonna have to eventually put a 220 right here. The panel's right on the other side, so it's super simple. Alright, so how does this thing work here? Okay, power switch, that makes sense. Thought I saw something back here. Wow, that is, it's not quiet, but it is nothing like my other one. My other one did that. I wonder if there's a dB app on my phone. Well, look at that. There's a sound meter right there on my phone. So let's check. I could have used this so many times. All right, so we're gonna stand like a foot away. Let's go on the other side of the garage. You know what? Let's compare it to the other one. If you don't know how decibels work, it's a weird incremental jump. Each number represents a ton more volume. So maybe I'll figure that out. All right, so you guys are seeing it's 80 decibels. Let's try the other one right there. So to me, it sounds twice as loud. Yeah, pretty happy with this. We'll find out how it works.
First couple guys, so not necessarily through the
My good old reliable mobber. Okay. Well, I think we figured it out. So it's coming in at weak already, and then you hit this and it's below the bad. So it's like we need a battery. Sucker was dead, man. Hopefully it'll be enough to get me to work tomorrow. Of course, I can get a battery. I bought that car in 2018. I've never put a battery in it. Well, I gotta say that my little gate stabilizer, my wind strengthener, worked great. We had some biggies, 50, 60, 70s. This thing didn't budge. Remember last time? It was breaking the pipe clamps on all these. It broke pipe clamp after pipe clamp. But she worked good now. I'm super scared to death here. I've never done nothing like this. It's pretty simple, seen many videos, but I'm gonna give it my first shot right here. I wanna get rid of all these panels first, and then we'll see where to go from there. I got all the settings set the way everyone says. Now I'm running it at 110 on 40 amps or 30 amps, so. It scares me. So it's cutting right through it. That seems to be a lot easier than a grinder, let me tell you. Popped a breaker. Alright, I've been messing with this for a while, and when we put in those 30 amp plugs, it was right here. 4x8 camper, 30 amp. And then after they did my solar, I noticed this is covered. So I assumed they put it back on the 15. So I've been playing with this breaker the whole time, and everything that's on that breaker in the garage is fine. Well, then they have a sub panel right here. The solar people, they moved that 30 amp breaker over here, which is brand new, which I like. They marked it plugs in lights, but it's not. This is the welder 30 amp circuit in the garage. So I'm going to relabel that. But I flipped it back on and it worked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug the compressor in somewhere else and just plug only the plasma cutter in here. All right, well that sucker's working. got my little 80 decibel compressor plugged into a regular circuit, and then the plasma cutter plugged into the 40 amp. I keep saying 40 because the extension cord I made is for 40 amps, but it's 30 amp circuit. Is working really good. Breaker hasn't tripped. I can say that my nerves are way down. I was really nervous, you know, like when the first time I welded, I was really nervous. I just, you know, you read a lot of stuff, you watch a lot of YouTube videos, and you figure it out. And of course you take the safety precautions. So cutting out these panels is the way to go first, and then I'll come in here and hack these one at a time. And I'm just throwing everything in the back of this truck right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get you guys set up on a time lapse, and let's get some of this done. What am I doing taking up all your whole dog run with my big old project? Alright, so we got one side all cut out. Again, just, this thing's awesome. Just works flawless now that I have everything set right. And now that I've, you know, this was my get to know it phase, nice thin metal, easy access right here. Now on the other side, I don't plan to spend an hour cutting all this stuff out like I just did. I could just start cutting out whole sections and letting them fall in. But I wanted to just start somewhere that was not, it was the least intimidating. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna cut these doors off. That's gonna be, I'm gonna try to weigh one of these things and see what it weighs. All right, yep, that was scary. I'm gonna bring my wife's scale out here and try to weigh this thing. Each side weighs like 96 pounds. And that's a couple pounds still at an angle over there. So these things are 200 pounds each. So that's 400 pounds back here. It's only a half ton. I already got a half ton in there. It's almost like it was made for this. Perfect. All right. Woo. I am 1/3 of the way done, and there she is. Cutting off those like 3x5, 1/4 inch thick, whatever they were. You could cut one all the way around, cut another one all the way around, cut another one all the way around, and then by the time you come back to push the thing in, like the bottom re-welds itself, and I would go 2 or 3 passes sometimes. But I ended up getting them to cave in, and I loaded them in the back of my truck. On the other side, I'm not going to cut out the panels. I'm going to try to cut out one whole section, so I'm doing a lot less cutting. Hopefully it speeds it up a little bit. I wanted to get this all done today. It is 5:30, and I know I'm not getting it all done today. So, but right now what I got to do is pull out the bomber truck, flip this thing around, because I want this side that I'm working on this side. Judging by how much work it is to put those things in my truck, I don't know if it's 2,000 pounds. I was saying 500 per side coming off of there. But I'm gonna save a lot of weight. There she sits. I've learned a ton with this plasma cutter. So I've been using this thing for 3 hours, right out of the box. Cut this sinking whole trailer up with no problems. The other trailer I had, this one right here, was so light. I think it was like 1,800 pounds, and that's all it needs to be. We're just piling tires on it, and we're just hauling them, you know, 20 miles. That's it. I'll call this one a day. I'm gonna go in and cook my steak. All right, it's been a few days, and I got this much done on the trailer. I have one front section left, and then I need to clean up all of these rails up and down the sides to prepare them for a spot where I can start fabricating the new lighter walls. What a gorgeous day today. You know, forget this. Let's go wheeling. Out. This thing's a monster, man. Those ruts are like 4 feet deep, and it just wheeled right through it. This creek is really cool down here. Oh, the tree fell. No way. You are kidding me. I've wheeled this trail many times. This goes all the way. You can take it to Arrowhead and then Deep Creek. And this, we used to climb up and go around this tree and stand up there and watch people go wheeling through here. But it finally fell.
I remember we used to be able to go on the rock.
Wow.
That was nice.
Somebody's gonna have to come in here. That tree fell too, right there.
Yeah.
That one was cut.
Yeah.
This one was not. But it was dead.
Yeah.
It's something else, huh, buddy?
Yeah. This whole thing fell, man. That was nice.
Yeah, the trail goes up through there. And we can do it in our KRX, but this has to go bye-bye. It would be a sloppy walk down. You're trying to stair step that big boulder right there. All right, that was fun. We had a lot of fun. It was absolutely beautiful up in the Big Bear Mountains. Went up to that radio tower, goofed around, went up to Holcomb Creek, where, if you remember on my last ride video, the I can't believe I did this video, I brought my drone to video Holcomb Creek, and then it needed to update, and then there's no internet connection. So I went up there with the family, had a great time in the KRX. This thing, I wheeled up this gnarly trail that was so muddy, and it went right up the thing. I couldn't even believe it. Anyway, it's good to be back. It's another day, and I'm gonna start hacking this thing up again. So we'll just do a quickie time lapse because I talk too much. Dang, that thing was fighting me. And the mistake I made was I cut this at a wedge angle, see? Going that way. So the more I pushed it, the tighter that joint got. So I kept cutting little pieces out to try to square it up, and then just finally went. So we're popping all kinds of breakers today. Whoever wired this house in 2006, this breaker right here controls all of the plugs in the garage and all of the exterior plugs around the outside of the house. So I'm in here running all these lights. I got a TV going, I got a radio going, I got all my stuff charging, I got the compressor on it, and then I have a swamp cooler out there plugged outside, which is on the same circuit, and as soon as that compressor kicks on, it kills it. I'm gonna call my electrician buddy, and I'm gonna have him come out and somehow try to separate all these plugs, the outside plugs on a different circuit, the inside plugs on a different, beefier circuit. Anyway, I figured out the method. I got to turn everything off in the garage, and then the compressor can run on the house, no big deal, 15 amps. This thing runs on the 30 amp service like we talked about before. But that sun's killing me. It's really hot today. It's like 90 degrees out in that sun. So I got that panel off. Let's stack it up, and then I'm gonna flip the trailer around, put this thing in the shade. This stuff's just trying to kill me. I backed into one over there. Let's pull some skin off of there. Well, the dude built a great trailer, because this is like the 4th hour of solid work on this thing. Just this one front panel took an hour. Just cutting, pushing, cutting. And I'm sure that experience would make that go quicker, because I've never done anything like this. That's what this channel is all about. I started out building a camper. I didn't know how to build any camper. I built a shed once, you know. And my kid and I went to Harbor Freight and bought the cheapest trailer frame we could find, and we just built a camper over 6 months. I had like $100 a weekend to spend on my budget, you know, and we built that sucker. For now, I'm taking a break because it's too hot right now. This thing was supposed to have a magnet on it. My poor boy, look, he's so nervous. He hates that hydraulic pump noise. He just hates it. Do you think the machines are coming to get you? It's not the Terminator. It's not the rise of the machines. It's okay, buddy. You're such a stud. You kick everyone's butt, but then you're afraid of the little noise. All right. There she is, chopped. This compressor set at the right settings, and with this plasma cutter, even on 110, worked flawlessly to cut this thing up. I am having my electric buddy come out. I need a 240. I just want one. Have him put one in for me. So that's the end of the scalping. And next we will be prepping and building. Right now, I'm gonna go cook a steak. I remember when you were the young buck and you were picking on Toby, and now she's the young buck. I don't know if she's picking on you or flirting with you.
The next day.
All right, so I have two places I can weigh this. At the plant that I dropped the tires, or I can weigh it at the dump. So I'll start with the tire plant. All right, I'm coming up to the recycling plant, and I'm hoping they let me in to weigh it, so we'll see. You know, they're very, very strict here about safety because they've got, you know, huge trucks and stuff rolling around all over the place, and they may just not want to play my little YouTube game. So let's go to the front gate and see what they say. If not, I can try the dump. I weighed the tiny camper at the dump 4 years ago, and they were cool about that. It's kind of busy here, so I just need to get on the scale and get off. That's it. I don't have any tires. Oh. Question for you. My big trailer, I'm hacking that thing up and making it lighter, and I need to just get a weight on what I am taking off. Can I just get a number and split? I don't need a ticket or nothing. Sure. Thanks, dude. And then I'll dump it at my shop, and later today, what time do you get off?
I got off at 4. Are you just trying to see what you're...
Yeah, I need to get a weight with it, and then I'm going to dump the metal at my shop, and then later today I'm going to get a weight without it and see how much this actually weighs.
That's fine. I have no problem with that.
Thanks, dude.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Awesome! He went to give me my scale card because he automatically thought I was dumping tires, but I'm not. So we're heading over to the scale. Let's do this. All right, we are at 6540, 6,540 pounds. All right, so I'm yanking all this metal up to my shop, and it feels heavier than when I towed the camper up with this 2-wheel drive truck. So just very curious to see how much we cut off that trailer. All right, I'm back at the scales. Went to work, just got back down, empty. So let's see what this thing weighs here. I'm gonna hook my guy up with a sweater.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
All right, hooked him up with a one of our killer hoodies, and heading over to the scale. So I don't think I'm supposed to be recording in here. It's like a national security thing, right? This is a massive plant, and So I may have to block a bunch of this out. I don't want to get in trouble, that's for sure. So we're at 50. We're at 5,300. And what were we at before? 6,540. So I cut off 1,200 pounds of steel. Not as much as I thought. I was thinking we were at 500 a side, like 2,000 pounds. But still, you know, if I can save 1,000 pounds on this trailer, that's 1,000 pounds I'm lugging around up this gnarly hill. All right, this is grinding day. I installed this inline moisture filter right here. You're hearing a little leak in it that I have to fix. I didn't use plumber's tape, and of course you should always use plumber's tape. But I got it coming out, going in, coming out, going out. That'll work. Just get the ball rolling here. This is the torch part. I love that it has a huge, like a 20-foot cord on the thing. Super easy to hook up. This little black notch right there goes straight up like this. And then you just, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 turns. You're in, easy peasy. Same thing with the ground. It's also notched on the top. And you just slide it in and turn it until it stops and it's ready. Today we're just grinding the surface where I'm going to build the new walls. Once I'm done with that, I'll design the walls and then we'll go from there. So yeah, I'll be out here for a couple hours grinding, but that's what I'm doing today. Alright, so I'm getting better with the plasma torch. Before when I was cutting these things off, I was leaving a lot on top up above the weld on the frame part, but I'm actually cutting now like right through the weld, almost level. So it just means a lot less grinding. So I got this one all done. I got this one all done. I got this front corner all done. And what I think I'm gonna do is just get lighter gauge, like 1 inch, and build frames out of them, 4x8 frames, and then weld expanded metal to it all the way down each side. And I'll grind this down just so it's not sharp, but this part of this is going to stay in here because it's going to be down in the corner, you know. It'll be down in the corner, no one's ever going to step on it or anything. I got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 left. It's Monday morning. I started this project about a week ago. I got all these old post bases grounded off, just improving my method as I go, requiring less time.
Like and subscribe.